The graduates have a major role in planning the commencement celebration, and they participate actively in it. In this tradition, Senior Nikhil Banesh will address the class.
Brighton High School, class of 2012. This is it. Who's excited? That's right. This is a big day. There is no turning back. Because once we walk across this stage tonight, we will be forever graduated from high school. And they don't let us back in. So we're stuck venturing forward into the great unknown. They call it the real world. A dark place where kitchens don't magically restock themselves with groceries, closets do not refill themselves with freshly laundered, folded clothes, and you must nag yourself to get your work done. So Mom, Dad, thank you. More and more, I find myself thinking of the diploma that we hopefully receive on Friday as a stamp of sufficiency, a certification that we're equipped for this real world. I'm scared. I feel unprepared. But I'm convinced it'll be a heck of a time. I have just a few snippets for you tonight. Pieces of stories, memories, others' words of advice, in which, if I'm lucky, will all tie together by the end. You're not special. In his commencement address, a teacher from Wellesley High School in eastern Massachusetts informed his students 9 times that they weren't special. He's been heralded as a hero for contesting the everyone's a winner philosophy, for combating the trophies just for participation, and for taking a stand against the excessive coddling of our youth. I disagree. In October, I had an interview with an MIT alum as part of the application process. I bragged a little bit about our school, the AP craze, the great teachers, our fantastic extracurriculars, and our comprehensive sports offerings. But to my surprise, he topped me. Himself a Brighton graduate, he looked at me and said, "I just don't understand it. When I graduated, Brighton was hands down the best school in Rochester, and 30 years later, it's still the best darn school around." His words stuck with me. Brighton is a very special place. A few weeks ago, I had a weird experience. I was over at the middle school, giving a presentation to 6th graders about the trapezoid. And I couldn't get over just how small they were. And then looking back, I remembered my days in middle school at track practice. And we were the modified team, and sometimes we'd venture over to big kid territory. We'd get to use the track. And we'd see the runners, and they were huge, giants. We thought they were mutants, they were so large. They'd run around the track without their shirts on at breakneck speeds. From my vantage point, 4.5 feet off the ground, I couldn't fathom ever running that fast, or ever being that big and tall. High school, that was years away. And then suddenly, I blinked, and the ratio was reversed. Here I was, myself towering over 6th graders. Cliched as it is, I realized that life is short, and it's too easy to look at life as a series of steps. To see that high school is just to get to college, so that we can work harder to get to grad school, where we can work even harder to get a good job, where we work hard to support a family, and then maybe we've worked hard enough to retire. But there's no end goal to life. We have to stop to enjoy it now, to enjoy it every day. Otherwise we'll blink, and before we know it, we'll be sitting out in the audience, watching our own kids graduate from high school. We lost Steve Jobs this year, the inspirational visionary, one of the great American inventors. 7 years ago, he gave the commencement address at Stanford University. He had discovered, upon the back of a counterculture catalog, 4 words to live by, 4 words I'd like to share with you today. Stay hungry, stay foolish. We'll remember this night. You probably won't remember what I've said, or even that I was up here talking at you for 6.5 minutes. But in an hour, we'll rush out onto Gibbs Street, into the loving arms of our friends and our families, and for a moment, we'll feel like we're on top of the world. So in just a minute, I want you to associate a dream with this night, with that feeling. But first, keep this in mind. There are 63 high schools in the Rochester area, 1,266 high schools in New York State, 33,740 high schools in the entire United States, and a projected 3,324,000 seniors graduating from high school this year. But there is only one Brighton High School, and there are only 280 of us. Each and every one of us is special. Special because we were lucky. Lucky to have parents willing to pay high taxes for 12 years, to have had patient teachers and caring administrators fully invested in our success, and to have had such great friends. So close your eyes for a minute and dream. Picture where you want to be in 10 years, 20 years, 30. Picture your house, your car, your personal jet, and your private island, sure. But also picture what matters most. Your friends, your family. Your dreams don't have to be huge, because that's not what success is. It's easy to point to the big names as successful, to point to the Mark Zuckerbergs, the Oprah Winfreys, the Barack Obamas, and the Steve Jobs. But success is far simpler. Success is leading a happy life. We're special, and we're lucky. We'll get there. But the journey, and what we learn along the way, is just as important as the dream. Stay hungry, stay foolish, and be happy. Brighton High School class of 2012, thank you very much.